right, New York Giants fans, you got to love that new intro. This is Tim's New York Giants Straight Talk, powered by Online Big Blue LLC. Today, we want to talk about, once again, the overhype of Jaxson Dart. And with the New York Giants, is it team over scheme or scheme over team? And I want to talk about this because I've gotten some flack about it on X. Because I have mentioned before when I did the draft, when I actually started ranking players, that I had fit to scheme. Now, the Giants have been in the doldrums for the last 12 years, and at times this has been a cut and paste roster, and we have talked about this ad nauseum over and over again. Sometimes you can go best player available, but sometimes that player isn't a fit in the scheme. And that's what I think the Giants are guilty of on occasion. And have they gotten away from that? Have they moved to a different direction? We're going to talk about that. Speaking of moving to a different direction, a lot of people, you know what? You dislike your job. You dislike your career. You want to do something different. You have that job dissatisfaction. Why? Because it's something you don't want to do. People ask me all the time, Tim, you got into the NFL. You worked in the AFL. How did you do it? I did it out of luck. And like Billy Zane says, a real man or woman makes their own luck. And Southern New Hampshire University is here to help you make that luck. And today's sponsor video is, of course, with Southern New Hampshire University. You want to get something going in sports? You want to move forward? How about a degree in sports management, a bachelor's degree? Fit your passion of business and sports into one degree and earn it all online in sports management at Southern New Hampshire University. I've talked about this before. I've extolled this virtues before. This is something that you really, if you want to move forward with your career, this is something you really need to look into. And Southern New Hampshire University can give you that direction, can give you that foot on the right path. And of course, SNHU is one of the largest accredited online universities in the United States. It's also radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. They were voted one of the country's most innovative universities, by U.S. News and World Report. Your courses, they're taught by faculty with real world experience. You'll have the opportunity to connect with people in the industry. So you're looking for that job in sports management. You're looking for that career. You're looking for a direction. You're looking for your first step. What's the best first step? And then getting the degree, a bachelor's degree in sports management. Again, fit two of your passions, business and sports, into one degree. And you earn it all online. Go to snhu.edu backsplash big blue. I'm going to say it again because I did screw it up. Go to snhu.edu /big blue. Take a look at it. See what they offer. Make the first step. Again, snhu.edu /big blue. I'll wait. We always wait. You shouldn't wait. One of the things with the New York Giants, like I mentioned before, is team over scheme or scheme over team. You take a look at their defensive situation. And I'm going to go right on the defense. I'm going right to Shane Bowen because of the fact that Shane Bowen aggravates me. He aggravates me to no end because and I really should rephrase that. As a person, he doesn't bother me. As a defensive coordinator, he bothers me. He likes to rush four. He likes to generate his rush with four. He blitzes about 20% of the time. He has this bend not break zone style defense, which usually isn't conducive at times in the NFL. You give up these chunks of yardage. Everyone always talks about, and it's a great stat, that his teams are phenomenal stopping teams from scoring in the red zone. But again, why even let them get there? Because there's more of a chance and more of an opportunity that if you let someone get in the red zone, they're going to score. And the question is this: does Shane Bowen have the pieces to run his defense? I personally think that if you take a look at what he's done, you've taken a look at his body of work, and we've talked about this ad nauseum. He's got this mixture of pieces that just kind of don't fit. He's got that big anchor in the middle of Dexter Lawrence, but then he's got three undersized defensive ends, and Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and now Abdul Carter. So you may be able to generate a rush with four like he likes to do, but the question is this: are you going to get to the quarterback with using this speed rush? We should call it NASCAR speed instead of NASCAR. And again, these guys are undersized ends. And you're going to try to put Abdul Carter in multiple positions. He's not an off the ball linebacker. And I'm not trying to be rude because I still think Abdul Carter is going to be an impact player in this league as a pass rusher. I've said it a million times before. But there's a stat. There's a stat from his second season at Penn State that bugs the hell out of me. That stat is, of course, 25.7. That is his missed tackle percentage from his second season as a starting off the ball linebacker. So in this Shane Bowen defense, he said it best. In Hard Knocks, like we said, it's the gift that keeps on giving all the time. Came into that first defensive meeting and said, they asked, Joe Schoen asked him, Shane Bowen, what do you need? He goes, I need 2 linebackers and a defensive end. We've said it before. I've said it a million times. So what about Brian Burns? It didn't make sense. Again, it was team over scheme. You weren't giving the pieces to the guy that he needs to run what he wants to run, his philosophy. You spent two years building an attacking style defense with Wink, and then all of a sudden you just shifted directions. You go out and get Tay Banks, who was better as a cover corner, as a press cover corner, and also now you want him to play zone, and then you're shocked that he did not have a good 2024. You go out and give Paulson Adebo and give him 54-36 guaranteed. And what does he do well? He's a press cover corner. He's a man-to-man guy. So your 2 big cogs in the secondary that you spent a first-round pick on and signed as a free agent does not fit the scheme run by Shane Bowen. So is Shane Bowen going to adjust? Is he going to make the necessary changes? Is he going to learn that he's going to take the talent that he has? And he does. This team does have some talent on the defensive end. I've said it before. If put together properly, they will be or could be a top 15 defense. But again, you have to monitor. You sometimes, like I said, if you are making macaroni and cheese and you give me peanut butter, it's just not going to work. You went out and got Holland, the safety, which I think even after a down year in Miami is a good pickup. But I take a look at that pickup and say, does he fit the system that Shane Bowen likes to run? Yes and no. So is Joe Schoen doing a disservice to this coordinator by giving him pieces that he's not used to working with and telling him to mold this into a playoff defense? I think Shane Bowen, you saw Shane Bowen adjust early in the season. I think he can still do it. I really do. I really do think he can do it. But it's going to have to be a big quantum leap. Not looking at you, Scott Bakula, on his part. Same with the offense. People are like, what's the offensive identity? I got no fucking clue. Because the last 2 years, it's just been horrific. You know what the offensive identity's been the last 2 years? Bad. And the year before that, and last year, was get the ball to Malik Neighbors. You still have an offensive line that's suspect. Your skill position outside of Malik Neighbors. Darius Slayton, good 3rd, 4th wide receiver on a playoff team. Wan'Dale Robinson, I still think should be that scat back, that Darren Sproles type back, but that's never going to happen. You have Theo Johnson, the tight end, Dane Bellinger, and the straight line tight end we drafted this year. What's the philosophy? Are you going to be ground and? I personally think you go ground and pound. I think you take, Cam Scattaboo and, you pair him with Tyrone Tracy and you use Scattaboo. Scattaboo is that north-south 2-down back, and then you have Tyrone Tracy as your change of pace back. Grind it out. Run the ball freaking 40 times a game if you have to, then set up to play action. But are you going to run a similar style offense to Buffalo, which is what Brian Dable has been wanting to do for the last 3-4 years? I don't know, but again, it's team over scheme or scheme over team. I don't know which direction they're going to go, but they're going to need to figure it out. We have all not off season. We have all training camp to figure this out. So I'm not concerned about it yet. What I am more concerned about is the overhype of Jaxson Dart. Oh, this poor kid. I feel so bad for him already. You had the likes of Pat Leonard.
Stupid giant Twitter posts
already telling us that this kid is going to be hard. It's after one practice, after 2 hours on the practice field, it's going to be hard to keep this kid out of the starting lineup. Yeah, I don't know where these people are seeing it. Then you see people like Fireside Giants telling us he's probably the best pocket passer in this draft, even though When he came out, one of the things that scouts have said repeatedly, he is going to have issues playing out of the pocket because he does not play in the pocket well. He is a rollout passer. So I don't know where they're getting this information. Then Chode Sports is sitting there telling us he's going to be Lamar Jackson. How the hell do you know that? The kid hasn't even taken a snap in training camp. Your expectations are here again, and we have to sit here and worry about, is this going to be a Daniel Jones factor, because we're going to overhype everything this kid does so much ad nauseum that people are going to start turning against him because of the overhype. He's not ready to play. Everyone talks about all this great stuff he did at Ole Miss, but you're also missing a lot of things that he needs to work on. And most professionals will tell you there is a lot that he needs to work on. I keep saying this over and over again. Stop the overhype machine. Give the kid a chance. Give the kid a break. Give the kid an opportunity to breathe. Let him make his mistakes, because he's going to make an abundance of them. One of the biggest issues he had coming out of college was all of a sudden just kind of disappeared, was the fact that they say he's a half the field quarterback. Lane Kiffin's job is to win games in college, not to cultivate quarterbacks for the NFL. So what does Lane Kiffin do? Cuts the field in half and makes you a one-read quarterback. There was concerns coming out of day one. Is he going to be able to scan the entire field? I've read these scouting reports, which were given out directly a week after the end of the college football season. Will he be able to scan the complete field? Because a lot of times Lane Kiffin made him a one-read quarterback. A rollout, half the field, one-read guy, second option is the run. So one of the biggest issues is with Jaxson Dart coming out of school was, can he play in the pocket, and can he read the entire field and go through all of his progressions? Give the kid a learning curve. Give him an opportunity to figure out the NFL. You do these things, you're gonna make life a lot easier for yourself, and you're not gonna be disappointed if he goes through a rut and has to learn. This is what we did with Daniel Jones. We anointed him the Messiah after basically 5 good games his rookie year, and then waited another 4.5 years for the Messiah to return, and nothing ever happened outside of a 3,000-yard, 15-touchdown season, which is average in the NFL. If Jaxson Dart had those stats, I would say those are great stats for a rookie quarterback. Just relax, guys. Give the kid a break. Give him an opportunity to grow. Give him an opportunity to fit in the role. Give him an opportunity to find his own foothold in the NFL. Because if not, you're going to crush him. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun this season. So make sure you stay tuned. And as always, like, subscribe, ring that bell. Because you want to know why? Well, that'd be awesome. And I'm out of here.